President, colleagues, one, I want to be very specific as to the motivation and the context of this motion. In the mid-90s, a mixed-use facility was built where you have senior housing on top of a supermarket. At that time, on that intersection, you had an administration building that held the offices of the Unified School District. Since then, a new high school was built and designed, where now you have hundreds of young people coming in and out of the school that was never assessed or evaluated given the impact caused by traffic, caused by pedestrian congestion. On that side where this market was built, you have relatively narrow sidewalks compared to what you have across the street. A few years back, we had an elder, a senior, who was struck by a bus on that street. Today, we do have a supermarket who wants to come in. They are entitled by right, but what I don't have is a vehicle or a method by which to assess that impact given the new conditions that's caused by this congestion, this pedestrian flow, which is unsafe. So that is a very real issue. To compound the issue is I no longer have a community redevelopment agency. A CRA had a set of planners that would assess the situation and give us advice and look at how we can mitigate. That no longer exists. I also have a planning department that's been cut by 40%. So those are very real issues. Another layer of concerns is the issue of character. In the amendments that are in front of you, there's a map that isolates a pocket in Chinatown that speaks to the notion of how we preserve the character of Chinatown. Now, this is not unique. We did this before with Alvera Street. In Alvera Street, back in the 80s, we set an overlay that essentially contained and maintained a certain character given the history, the architecture, the flavors of Alvera Street, and we impose these conditions to preserve that pocket for what you see today. Chinatown, in my eyes, is just as unique. It has the ability to maintain that destination, to continue to generate jobs that we preciously need, to continue investment. And from my point of view, if we have the ability to make our sidewalks safer, our intersections flow much easier, making sure our elders do not get hit by the cars coming by or a bus jumping the curb, completely tight conditions that are unsafe. If we can have a vehicle to mitigate that, that is what I'm seeking through this ICO. Now, I also have two amendments that essentially exempts and grandfathers the existing business in Chinatown. It excluding existing and new businesses that are less than 20,000 square feet. So we are directly addressing the small and medium-sized businesses, the mom and pops. We're excluding existing businesses currently opening in Chinatown that want to either expand or move. So we are not limiting the kinds of entrepreneurship that allows our business to continue to grow. I am not anti-business. I am pro-business. But these are fundamental issues that I'm asking you to support. Now, as chair of Plum, I put great weight on how you define your districts. You understand your constituents. You do everything in your power to facilitate the process. But we do have tensions when you have, like in my case, substandard streets, original neighborhoods that were designed to a certain capacity that we have far surpassed today. We never contemplated back when this store was designed to have all of that foot traffic with all those kids coming in and out of that school the way we have today. What I'm asking you is to support me in allowing some discretion, given that I no longer have a CRA. That elderly person was struck by a bus. and that we will make this area more inviting for more business and more jobs, because it'll be safer, more desirable. We will have traffic controls in place if incoming businesses and those who are being impacted, we can work together to monitor that intersection, to have personnel at that intersection, and to prevent the kind of tragedies that I foresee if we allow this to move forward. So we are not stopping any supermarkets from coming into the district. We are not holding back jobs. We're making it safer, and I'm allowing for that discretion, and I ask you for your support. Thank you.
Council members, my name is James Elmador from the Los Angeles Alliance for a New Economy. I'm here to support the proposal for an interim control ordinance for Chinatown. We're here because we believe that the entrance of a major new retailer, grocery store into Chinatown could impact all the local businesses that exist in Chinatown. There are 4 full-service grocery stores in the community that could close. They're family-owned businesses. There are another 15 to 20 markets. There are a number of pharmacies and a number of bakeries. All of these businesses have signed on to a letter of support asking the council member to move forward with this ICO and to make sure that the community has a voice to determine whether this retailer will be good for the community or bad. Government's responsibility here is to ensure that economic development occurs in a way that benefits the community. I ask all of you to support the motion to allow the council member to move forward in developing an interim control ordinance that will protect Chinatown small businesses and ensure we do not have Walmart destroying the standards of our community and our jobs here in Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Carol Schatz.
Carol Schatz, President of Central City Association. This is not a land use issue. This site was entitled for a grocery store for 20 years. Neither a union nor non-union grocery store chose to go into the site. You have a number of senior citizens living above. You can see what the benefit would be to them. There is no other grocery store for 30 or 40 blocks. This is a food desert. Even with the amendments, it's a dangerous precedent. It's overbroad, and it create a precedent citywide. There has been no process. It's been shoved through without any input from the community, and none of you would ever think about shoving through an ICO that related to a unique neighborhood in your district without input from the community. This does not work. Don't do this. Thanks.
Council, my name is Gary Tobin. I'm the President and CEO of the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce. Our members and thousands of businesses in Los Angeles are vehemently opposed to this motion. The action you are considering today is a lot bigger than Walmart, and it's a lot bigger than Chinatown. This motion is about every business in Los Angeles, it's about every property owner in Los Angeles, and it's about every consumer in every neighborhood in Los Angeles. This motion will send a chilling message to all businesses, large and small, in Los Angeles. It doesn't make any difference where you are in your process and whether you have followed all the rules. Somebody can yank it out from under you, even if you followed every single rule. That is not what built the economy of our nation. We need to allow businesses who follow the rules to join our community and invest in jobs and tax base.
Anyone on this council is against people working and against business being productive.
Todd Over, General Manager of the Building and Safety Department.
Can you respond to that, how this amendment affects, this proposed amendment affects this particular situation in this area?
This particular, and I heard the city attorney say we're not talking about this particular project, but the
particular amendment, not the project, but the amendment.
How the amendment affects this project.
Right.
Yeah, the permits for this project were issued yesterday. This project is moving forward. This ordinance would not have any immediate impact on this project.
Okay, so the conditions that are already established have already been established and approved and permits issued, etc.
Yes, sir. This building, as the councilman mentioned, the building was built 20 years ago. It was designed and built as a grocery store. It was a CRA, a redevelopment agency project, senior citizen housing above, retail on the ground floor. It was designed and built as a grocery store. The CRA was originally in contract with Albertsons for a grocery store. The Albertsons fell out of contract. The grocery store site has sat vacant now for 20 years, but it is and always has been a grocery store, designed and built as a grocery store. The only thing that was before us was tenant improvements. They came in probably in November and started processing permits to bring in the tenant improvements, to bring in the shelves and the refrigeration unit. They secured those permits. I haven't driven by there today, but for all I know, they might be under construction.
This economic analysis that we're discussing, the friendly amendments, I see that as relevant to the permanent ordinance. On interim, I'd like to move on that as process dictates. And colleagues, nothing is being snuck in. This is going to have its fair review, open process, through commission, through committee. It'll come back to council. So everyone will be involved in this discussion. And that is the way it should be. Second, this is about process. And with all due respect to Mr. Tobin, I think it is more inviting for investors and the ability to create more jobs when you have sidewalks and intersections that are safe and inviting, where more businesses will find it desirable to be there. Today, I don't have that toolbox, if you will, with CRA gone, without any existing tools to oversee impacts. Anything can come in that's entitled, as what happened in this instance. So when you raise the flag of concern because you have hundreds and hundreds of youngsters coming into this intersection, into this neighborhood, in the middle of a major city that has city-wide traffic patterns, regional-wide traffic patterns coming in, there is a reason and a cause for concern. And that is our discretion, and I'm trying to do my best to make sure we don't lose the character, the uniqueness, the destination that is Chinatown today, and address those issues that speak to safer sidewalks, safer streets for the seniors, the students, and anyone who wants to come in as tourists. These are positives. Lastly, I find out that building safety processed the permits yesterday at 4:30. So this is happening now. We have 3 new high schools within 5 blocks in this area with no real tools to address that impact in a direct way. We talk about parking, congestion. We have statistics that will be displayed during the process, where we're going to show that seniors and cars running into and hitting seniors are in a high proportion in this area. In my 20 years working in Chinatown at my community meetings, that is what I hear. How do we make our streets safer? Where do we create parking so that we can have more tourism and more business? And that's the job that's in front of us. So I ask for an aye vote. This will be transparent. This is not what has been said in the press, and I don't want to do policy by press. I'm not sneaking this in. That's not what this is about, but environments are created, and I want to stay focused on the real facts and the issues at hand. Thank you.